First of all, very warm welcome to Joseph and Helen and Dosia and Ruth. Like we are again very lucky. They are making significant contribution and significant. They're putting into significant effort to fight climate change, and not just that. And we have Helen here. We are very excited to have Helen as well because she's built like a social media platform of over 100,000 subscribers in I think YouTube and Instagram. So we'll get some insights from her as well. So yeah, very excited. First of all, I'll get this session started with like a very quick mini training. It'll take about 10 minutes. So it's like a very quick introduction about sustainability and United People Global. So yeah, it's like one of the leadership fellowships that I'm part of. So here we go. I'll just get it. I'll share that. I'm just about to share my screen again. All right, here we go. Do you guys see the screen? Do you guys hear me well? Some interactions. Everything will be very helpful. And if you can open your camera, please, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Mufreke. Thanks, Mufreke. Awesome. All right, so okay,
We
just
see
very
the screen.
yeah. Ruth, was there anything? Okay, wonderful. All right, just keep, this shouldn't take more than like 10 minutes. So welcome everyone. I'm Fahad and I'm one of the UPG sustainability um, champions. And I'll just very quickly give an introduction to sustainability basically. So like about me, like what gives me the capacity to do this, right? To present in front of all of you guys. I'm currently based in Australia and my background is Bangladeshi. I work full time as a renewable energy engineer and I'm also energy consultant for a Swiss firm where we help developing communities. I'm also founder of Eminate. So we are using, this is the organization that's organizing this whole webinar series. And yeah, I'm very happy because we've been very lucky to do projects in Bangladesh, Myanmar, Uganda, Tanzania, Papua New Guinea, and the Dominican Republic. So we are definitely global. And we see that climate change is obviously a global phenomena, but also like clean energy expertise and clean energy requirements. It's a global phenomena as well. And we're not seeing a lot of experts in clean energy all over the world. So that's like our goal is to try and shorten the gap. And then I have around 9 years professional experience, been lucky to work with development partners. I'm also UP champion and I was part of a few other fellowships, including the World Bank Max Lucado Atkins program, All Shark, as well as Unleash. And I did my master's in renewable energy engineering from University of New South Wales, and my bachelor's was in engineering as well, electronics mainly. Yep. So moving on. So the table of contents, I'll very quickly talk about like um, yeah, I'll very quickly talk about like what I'm doing here, what the introduction is, and the sustainability aspects, and a few other things. I think it's best not to spend too much time on this. So, okay, United People Global. What is UPG? UPG is basically a community that encourages and enables people to participate in making the world a better place. And how do they do it? Um, they do it through, you know how they're like the SDG, UN SDG, or the Sustainable Development Goals. They help us, they empower us to carry out more projects fulfilling these SDGs, and that's how we make the world a better place. And so, and hence the UPG sustainability leadership is a movement that mobilizes individuals and organizations to support positive leadership, for positive citizen leadership or sustainability, obviously. And what is sustainability? And in their definitions, there are many definitions. You'll find many definitions online, but the main definition UPG um, says it as is like ensuring that future generations inherit at least the same access to opportunities and resources that we have. Right. So okay, moving on. Uh, so at UPG, we believe that everyone can do something positive. Like everyone, and everyone has to do something positive because of the world we are in. We need all the help we can get, right? And at this session, we will explore together like just my project very quickly as well. Again, it won't take long. And after the session, we will have our main session. We will have our wonderful speakers talk, share their experiences. So just very quickly about the SDGs. So the UN SDGs are goals or objectives in 17 areas. So it's it's very broad. So it can be climate action, which is SDG 13 it can be zero hunger. SDG 2 it can be good health and well-being. So it's very broad. So and there are like 17 areas that affect almost everything. And the SDGs are rare global agreement, basically, that agrees to two things. Mainly, sustainability includes many things, and whatever area of activity you're in, there is a contribution that you can make. And the whole world has agreed that we need more a more sustainable world, right? And then because of that, UPG, this is very interesting. I feel like so they focus on four pillars. So the first pillar of taking action is basically awareness. So awareness is like, okay, so let's say climate change, you are aware of the issue, and then it moves to belief. So it's like a flower, it's like blooming. It's like, so from awareness, it moves to belief. So like you believe that you can make a difference, you can make a change, right? And then collaboration, so it becomes even bigger, right? So and then so it's not just you anymore, you collaborate with other people in the field to make an even bigger change. And then you form a community. So not just collaborating with others, but you, you don't only form a team, but you also form part of a whole community, and you get the whole community involved in your work to make the world a better place, right? So yeah, questions, I think we can do questions later on. So for example, I just wanted to highlight a few issues: climate action and the destruction of nature, peace and justice, poverty, hunger. If we can just imagine a world where these things are fixed, like we can honestly like realize how much better our world will be if we get to fix even one of these, right? If be it, imagine a world without poverty, without war. Imagine fixing climate change and all these natural disasters that are happening all over the world. These are fixed, right? So yeah, so this is obviously a very long process, and yeah, hopefully it's just more of a call to action for all of us to do our part. And here's my project. So as a renewable energy engineer, I'm basically developing a free course. The main focus will be renewable energy technologies, but the emphasis will be on solar because it's the most common renewable energy technology, and it will be completely free, and it will be open to anyone. It'll be like a webinar like we're doing now, and hopefully it will springboard people to a career in renewable energy, because like I mentioned, you're not seeing enough people in renewable energy. There are plenty of opportunities, but because of lack of skills and expertise, um, yeah, a lot of projects are not being fulfilled, or if they're not just meeting the standards. Moving on, like we also have, like for Eminate, we have many other projects in the pipeline. We have been helping organizations fill up their applications or RFAs, and also with engineering design. And my latest side project is basically helping underprivileged like schools in Papua New Guinea and education centers. So we are helping set up like solar and batteries in those areas, and where they don't have electricity at all. And just very quickly, some of my past projects, like we've raised some money to put solar batteries in a couple of schools in Bangladesh. And this was a biopellet production facility in Uganda, where I helped like design the whole system for them. So we not only had solar, but we also had like the mechanics or the processes, and we automated the whole processes for them. And this is like a single line diagram for a solar system. This was the capacity building session, and this is like our very first webinar of the series that we are currently in, right? So yeah, please feel free to give inputs. Feel free to add it in the chat. That would be great. And continuing to take action. So many people are already doing something, and we believe that everyone can take action to make the world more sustainable. So a very important thing to keep in mind is, stating things with in terms of theory of change. So with an if-then statement. So if I get to implement more solar in underprivileged areas, then a lot of people have access to lights and fans and electricity that they did not have before, which transforms their lives. If we implement more renewable energy or solar, then we fight climate change. So we are basically stating and quantifying, yeah, not quantifying, sorry. So we're just stating these things, but in terms of if-then statements, that makes it more organized and helps us understand what the main main outcome will be, and then defining stakeholders of projects. So who will be involved? What are the main goals? What is the best way to mobilize resources? Obviously, most major projects need funding, so that is a very crucial aspect as well. So final words, I hope you enjoyed this training.
Wait.
And thanks uh, Tumaini. Thanks, Tumaini. Yep. So just a few things I wanted to talk about is like just be passionate about what you want to focus on, learn to tell interesting stories because storytelling is so important, right? And then build relationships, collaborate for greater impact, and values are uncompromisable. In our climate space, this is what I say. In when I was doing my masters, I've seen people. I know someone. He was for fossil fuel, but after finishing, he got a job in renewable energy. He was doing electrical engineering, right? So he was pro fossil fuel, but then he started working renewable energy because it had more jobs. So that just feels wrong to me because your intention and your values are just wrong. So you just have to you need to focus and you need to understand you can't be a sellout basically. And obviously any justice, not just climate injustice, should bother us, and mainly be it war or any other issues like what's happening in Palestine at the moment, for example. And the next point would be like just always be growing, make sure you have a very humble and growing attitude. And finally, take care of yourself. Just obviously there will be a lot of mental and it'll take a mental and physical toll on you. You know, it's gets very busy, gets very tiring, but yeah, you need to take care of yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And feel free to join, like follow UPG, United People Global. These are their socials, and yeah, these are the link. This is the link. Yeah, you can always have a join them from here and follow them. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. So, yep, that's it. All right, so now that that part of our webinar is over, Ruth and Karima, we can take questions later in the end if we have time, because I understand we have 4 speakers and time is quite limited. And thanks for the reacts, everyone. Wonderful. So moving on to the next part of our session. Now we have the wonderful speakers I was talking about. We will start with Joseph. Joseph, I met Joseph in India for one of my fellowship programs, and oh, he's like an energy expert. He's in energy, and he's like a hands-on engineer as well. So he does a lot of really cool projects, and today he'll be discussing a new project of his own. Joseph, are you there? Do you hear me?
Yes, sure, I can hear you very well.
Oh, beautiful. If you would like to share, I can share my screen. I know you gave your slides. Just give me a second. And window, and here we go. Share. Okay, here we go.
Well, thank you, moderator, for organizing this big event. With the theme, what can we do about climate change? It's a pleasure to be here on the World Environment Day. Growing up in the northern part of Uganda that experienced a 2-decade civil war, I have got an experience in the first-hand realities of food insecurity, malnutrition, and deforestation. I saw displaced communities struggle to grow food, but the little they harvest is lost due to poor handling and post-harvest preservation means practiced by the people. Can you move to the next slide?
Yes, please.
So food waste is a bigger cause of climate change than plastic. As when it ends up in landfill, it rots and they produce methane gas, one of the most damaging greenhouse gases driving climate change. As they break down, they emit methane, which is many times more harmful in short term to our climate than CO2. And E1 Social Enterprises Uganda Limited mission is to turn post-harvest losses among rural farmers into profits through the use of IMEC food dryer. This makes it very relevant in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal of increasing food security, which is zero hunger, and increasing farmers' income. That's no poverty. And according to Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, a third of the food produced is wasted globally. And if it is well taken care of, it can feed almost 300 million across the African continent. With no doubt that the mastermind is working all day night. Next slide. A team of engineers came together. We have developed a low-tech called iMake Food Dryer, a solution to fight the poor post-harvest handling among farmers through dehydration. This is a high commercial temperature oven machine, which is suitable for drying a very large variety of fruits and vegetables. And it is capable of extending its shelf life from 2 days to at least a year, increasing farmers' income by 100%, and extending shelf life from 3 days to at least a year, and availing food in period of scarcity and climate unpredictability. The dryer is powered by biogas. We make them from kitchen and animal remains. Currently, they come in 15 to 30 kg capacity, 30 to 80 kg capacity, and 100 to 300 kg capacity. With the engineering team and background in product development and social entrepreneurship, we have managed to produce an hybrid model. This hybrid, it collects solar heat. We don't convert it into electricity, but we use it for drying. So in typically 5 hours, if you put a fresh weight of agricultural produce of 100 kg, so you can get a dry weight of 35 kilo of dry product in a period of 6 or less than, according to the slices of the fruits or the vegetable you put in the drying chambers. Since we have started this technology, we have been able, go to the next slide, so. Next slide. Thank you. Before we came into this technology, there were some other innovators already in the market, but their solution comes with a lot of limitation. And most of the farmers in Uganda currently, they use open sun drying technology to preserve their food, because this is the highest way of a farmer can keep food for a longer time through dehydration. The refrigerators came in, the electric dryers also came in. But the extension of electricity has not reached most part of the country. And open sun drying, it is highly dependable on the weather and the solar dryers as well. What makes our technology more affordable, reliable, and very convenient to use? We have a stack effect drying method that combine the use of solar energy that is stored in the battery to run the heat exchange system and biogas system that make it dry 10 times faster than open sun drying technology and 5 times faster than solar dryers. Our product is very affordable in terms of price. It is reliable in terms of weather, and it dries as fast as the client wants. So if you have 300 kgs of product, or you've vested let me say you've vested a farmer would do vegetable like okra, and you can't sell all the okra within a day. So you take it to the market, and you will be forced to sell it at a cheaper price with the fresh one. Because if they stay for more than a week, they will go spoil. So a farmer will have a fear that he or she cannot keep a product fresh for a longer period of time. So we have come up with the drying technology so that we can add value to the agricultural produce, add value to it, extend its shelf life so that the farmer can make more money out of farming. The next slide. This is how big our market is. We have a great winning product. We have a winning team, and we have a ready market for our product. We target over 15 million farmers and 300,000 food processors across Uganda. Reducing the losses in fruits and vegetable farming will not only mean more food available for consumption, but also farmers will be able to raise more income in agricultural activities. We have a big opportunity to scale across the East African communities in a period of 2 years with a market size of 174 million. Next slide. Thank you very much. So selling our product, it has been a recommendation of the team to use the social media platform and partnering with microfinancial institution to give us a payment plan of 3 times. So we give the dehydrators to the farmers through financial institution. They pay half of the total cost of the machine to help us cater to produce the product. Then the remaining balance we collected after producing the machine, installing it, and showing it to the farmers how it works. We also partner with local organizations in the local communities that support farmers in regional level to help us leave the product to the end users. Since 2023, when I've come out with this business idea, I've raised a total revenue of $3,000 as a net profit, and we have sold 33 units of iMake food dryers. We have managed to reach to 1,300 small order farmers in northern Uganda, that's alone, and 500 kilograms of our biogas system, both portable and fixed dome, has been installed and sold to the farmers for a greater impact. Since all we need is collaboration, and there's need to expand what we do, we want to install the Farmers Hub, a center where farmers will learn how to handle post-harvest, adding value, and producing biogas, and how to make more money from farming. Next slide. So this is the team behind the solution with various experience. And Kalam Alex is managing our production, and Winnie is doing our sales and marketing. So I'm the lead innovator and CEO. Next slide. Great, this is the last one. So we help farmers to turn their post-harvest losses into profit. So we are more than welcome to collaborate so that we can create over 800,000 products by December 2024, and we reach more farmers in your community. Connect us to those organizations in your region that are helping farmers. Tell them about us. Let's collaborate, and we help these farmers and more money from farming. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joseph. Sorry, I just have to push a bit because we are out of time. But this was amazing, and I hope all of us, we see the impact that Joseph has been making with his innovation in terms of not just helping not waste food, have more food available to the people, but also fight climate change and contribute to the SDGs in the process. So wonderful. Thanks for that. Thanks for a great start, Joseph. Our next speaker is Helen. I'm obviously very excited to have Helen with us. As mentioned, she's like social media Yep, she's a social media influencer um, from Zambia, and really excited to hear her story and her points that will help us grow and contribute as well. Thanks.
Hi, Fahad. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I must say, Joseph, I enjoyed your presentation. That was a lot of eye opening. We have a problem of food wastage in our country. There's a season when we have like a lot of tomatoes that the marketeers will just start throwing away because they've run bad. They've tried to make them cheap, but they can't sell everything. So this is really great. That's something they can use. So going to my story. So I'm a journalist by profession, and I just left professional work. I used to work for the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation. I stopped working in 2019. When I was working for the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, it was mostly I used to do a lot of like entertainment. I was in production, and I used to do a lot of entertainment stories. So my idea was, how do I reach people that are not in Zambia, that are unable to watch the national broadcast? And I created a YouTube channel. I wasn't taking it very serious then. I was just throwing whenever I feel like, because then my full-time job was for the national broadcaster. But when I quit in 2019, I decided to take that very serious, and I decided to take that very, very serious, and I started posting a lot of everything that I was doing there. This was like my TV station. I took it like it's my everything. It's my job. And the time I left work, I think I had about 2 to 3 thousand subscribers on my channel. Then we pushed that very year. We hit, I think, about almost 50,000. And now we're standing around 76,000. When I started, the biggest challenge was a lot of people, when I would post, the biggest social media in Zambia is platform is Facebook. So when I post like my teasers on Facebook, and people would just be like, "Oh no, just post everything right here." And for me, it was just like, I want you guys to go to YouTube. I want you to go to YouTube. And so the views were just growing, and eventually the people, we had one good interview that a lot of people loved, and that's when people just started subscribing. Like, would get like 1,000 subscribers a week. And even the Facebook page, my Facebook page is the biggest with I think 278,000 followers, somewhere there. So then so you have all those, like, you're trying to drive them to your YouTube, and here we are, we're at 76,000 plus. And so it has been great. I hear a lot of stories. I get to have people that share stories. So from that, this organization called Ikasa Iguasha, they contacted me to say, we need help. They help vulnerable people. Well, we need help. We help vulnerable people. So they would ask for contributions, and then I would post some of the stories they're doing on social media, and people would contribute money. And so I would just contribute money and follow them. They were like, we want you to be a part of us, follow us. So we went to contribute at a certain school. And what we took, the person who said, oh, let's just buy groceries so that their parents can have something to eat, they can have soap. Those are the things we bought. Then when we went to that school for the day we were taking those things, what we found was a sorry sight. We found that these pupils, it's a community school. So somebody started that school and told them, we need, because there's only in that area, it's in the capital city, by the way, but just in a certain compound, they only have one government school. So a lot of people, even if there's a private school, they can't afford to pay. So the government schools are overloaded. So some children are just staying at home. So this man comes with the idea of, let me build a community school and then take the pupils there. So he rented out. There's this blind man who built like flats. It doesn't work, so that was supposed to be his source of income. So this man says, okay, don't make this a house. Let me rent it out to me as a community school. The man agreed, and they had, just upon enrollment, there are over 40 pupils, over 400 pupils. Then that man, it's like he was expecting some funding somewhere, and that didn't work out. So he was failing to pay the man. So the man now is challenged that you can't be staying here for free. This is my bread and butter. So I need you people to pay. So the man left. And now that blind man is left with parents who say, we still want our children to get into school. So they had a meeting as a community and decided, okay, we'll be paying like a small amount of money to this man, just so he can have something. So obviously teachers are not really getting paid. They can't afford to buy school materials. So we get there, the same very small amount that they're paying is a lot of pupils are unable to pay. So the man is going months without getting anything from what he's offering, and he's literally giving them that house for free to use. And he's blind; he can't do a lot of things, but he's able. He was thinking this will be able to sustain me. But the worst was also just looking at the pupils. They have nowhere to sit. They were sitting on the floor. They not even a mat, and these are kids from baby class to grade 8. So they have nothing, no tables, no boards. Teachers have to be creative on their own. They'll either get maybe a plain paper and stick it out, or somebody will find a wood that looks like a board and just put it, this is what I'll be using. If a parent has a chair that they feel a child can go and use at school, that's what they'll be sitting on. Others, but most of them, 90%, are just sitting on the floor. They have the windows, they have no windows in that classroom, which means when it rains or when it's cold, the children are cold. So that really made us feel bad. They don't have books. Teachers have to borrow, like from this child who's going to a proper school. There's, okay, where are you? We'll follow the topics, and that's how they teach. So we decided to change direction and say, okay, what they need is school materials. And we started, we had approached some private schools that have donated some books, some textbooks that we're taking to that school. We're supposed to do that this month, I think. We're supposed to take those books, and we're still collecting more from other schools that have agreed to give us some. Are even saying they may give us some boards and desks. So I was very happy when I joined UPG. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but the moment I saw UNS, the SDGs, it was really good for me to just rush on and go on to the SDG 4, because I firsthand witnessed that. And that's why I decided to work on quality of education, because how are those children going to compete with their friends if they don't have books, they have no proper education, they are missing schools because of the weather, because of where their conditions at school are not good. And so, yeah, being part of UPG for me has really, really, really been great. And talking about, and also, yeah, I use a lot of my social media to promote all these things. So that really helps me. And for me, that's very fulfilling, because at least we're trying to make a change in a small possible way that we can. And talking about climate change, talking about it's Environment Day today. So before I go, I just wanted to mention that I like the people that are really putting in effort educating us about climate change and all this, because we take it for granted. When they were telling us about global warming for the longest time, we're just thinking they're just talking. Right now in our country, we're experiencing a drought, a terrible drought that we haven't experienced since like the 90s. So it's really bad, and it's eye-opening. Now everybody's talking about, no, we need to start planting trees, we need to do this because the rain cycle is a mess right now. But all these things are effects, and if all of us can start even just by planting one tree a day, it will really help us. Maybe if we followed those instructions a long time ago, we wouldn't be experiencing the drought that we have right now. So thank you so much, and thank you, Fahad.
Hi, thank you so much, Helen. It was a pleasure. Really, it was very interesting hearing your story and how you grew, and yeah, your contributions in terms of the quality education and the schools, and yeah, if we can highlight more of these philanthropic stories that people are doing, I feel it can inspire more people to do even more positive work in the world. So yeah, amazing. Thanks so much for sharing. Moving on, sorry, I'm just rushing a bit because we don't have much time. Okay, next we have Dosia Doku from Benin. Um, so Dosia is a renewable energy engineer himself, and he does some really cool projects, and he will be presenting some slides. And I'm just about to share my screen as well. And Dosia, over to you, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much, Fahad, for this opportunity. Hello, everyone. I'm Dosia Dako from Benin. It is a great pleasure to be with you to learn more about how young people can do for changing our world. I'm Dosia Dako from Renewable Energy Engineer, and that is just and parental. It is something that I in my past I live in it because I was born in a small village where they have to electricity, clean water, and it was very hard to go to schools. But I did my best to become a renewable energy engineer today, and I'm electric. I did a lot of working as electric engineer and renewable engineer to install energy system, a hybrid system or solar energy system for a customer because I am a entrepreneur, and for a, an organization and schools in rural communities. Continue. I did a lot of awareness about green skills or soft skills, how people can commit for climate change, how we can do for energy transition, what kind of leadership we need for our world, for greening our world, and to commit more about how we can use clean energy and leadership, because we need a more affordable world where everyone have the possibility to live easily. So it is more important to democrate our commitment. Can So after doing awareness, I take some time to give some advice to people who commit more about in my rural communities. When I see that they have some leader in my community who commit more about climate change, like they did project for plastic, using clean energy, doing awareness in our communities and so on. So I did awareness for these people to help them to commit more and to know that the role that they uh, play is more important for themselves and for everyone in this planet. You can go on. So that I said, by the past, I was born in a small village where they haven't electricity today, and it take me, it opened my eyes that I must be a change maker, and being a change maker that needs more about learning more about how I can commit. So I combine engineering journey and leadership journey in my community to help people to know that someone who was born in the small way, he can go in everywhere and do what a lot of people can do, because we need some people as a model that can inspire us to change something in our communities. I was I was the founder of a student energy chapter in my university last year in 2023, and I was selected as the international delegate to participate at a student energy summit in Abu Dhabi and COP28 and so on. So when you work hardly for yourself, you will get a lot of opportunity to be a leader, to become the who you want. So let's commit more for ourselves, for our communities, and for our land. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to take this moment to ask you that we need more sustainability in all our actions. So let's collaborate. Let's work together. We need more clean energy. We need more clean energy. We need more all things we do. We need more money, but without our planet, without the land where we are living, we can't use what all we need by the first. So we need more our land, we need more our planet. So let's commit for our planet. Thank you very much.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you so much, Dosia. Beautiful. That was it's so good to hear about your journey and growing up, your story, and then how you've overcome all the challenges, and now you're making a difference in terms of um, yeah, in terms of adding more solar. Yeah, and I've personally seen like when you add solar to places where they have no electricity, it makes a big difference, doesn't it? I mean, I think there's been like um, a survey or like a study where they showed that growth in a community happens much faster when there is electricity there. So wonderful, thank you so much, and thank you so much for keeping time as well. Guys, I understand you guys have some questions, but yep, we'll have our last speaker now, and we'll have questions Q&A at the end. So moving on, now we have the wonderful Ruth to share her journey with us. Ruth has like an amazing profile on her own. She has founded two organizations already and has done numerous like SDG and climate action. And I'll just let her explain explain it. So Ruth, if you can hear me, could you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, hello everyone. Good morning. I'm in Nigeria. Good morning. Good morning, Joseph. I really enjoyed your section. And yeah, to Helen, thank you so much for doing all you do for those children. You're really doing a great job. Thank you, Dosia, for such an amazing job you're doing across your country. Particularly, I believe that great things can be done from small places. And if we cannot do great things, we can do small things in great ways. And you're really doing a lot. Thank you so much for that. Fahad, thank you for putting this up too. I think I really needed this section, not just as a speaker, but also as one of the people in the audience. So to me, although I shared my slides very late, and I'll just say a few things about my journey within the sustainable space. Particularly, I have I am rooted in agriculture. I have a background in agriculture with 2 degrees in agriculture. And particularly, people expected that I was going to go into lecturing and probably be a lecturer, since from both institutions, I was best graduating student from the department, and it was all clear that maybe I was going to become a lecturer. But no, I saw a purpose within agriculture that I could feel. And I think it was the Hult Prize 2020, Bold Businesses for a Better Planet. That was when I got into sustainability fully. I was leading a team at that point where we started asking questions about what could we do better for agriculture. We
Sorry,
noticed 2 problems.
Ruth, I'll just
Yes, go to the
quickly
next slide.
interrupt. Yeah, so I just got your slides and I've started sharing it. Thanks.
All right, so the next slide, you could go there. We identified two major challenges about how Nigeria was the waste capital of Africa, not just the giant of Africa. We found out that 57% of the waste generated in Nigeria are all bio waste, food waste, fruit waste, post-harvest losses, and we wanted to do better. I was excited about what Joseph was doing from his end, but from our end, we wanted to see what we could do with the losses when they are already lost. And that was when we came up with a proprietary fertilizer formula, and then we will convert these bio waste into nutrient-rich biofertilizers, and that was how Scratop Nigeria Limited was founded. Fast forward to how we got the African Green Female Award from the Embassy of Sweden to Nigeria, how we went to Denmark, to the University of Denmark and the Denmark Technical University, how we were able to get a whole lot from just this little solution that we created. So I believe particularly that sustainability is a journey and everybody has something to offer from wherever they are, right? With the issues around waste, particularly, when I started saying scrap up dirty and money, people were like, oh, how can debt be money? And I'm like, it's not even the normal one, it's the ones that are decomposing. And it was like not something people wanted to hear. But at the end of it all, people are seeing the value around the things we are creating and the things we are doing differently. With the scrap up solution, every ton of waste we are utilizing, we are contributing to the reduction of at least 1.1 ton of carbon equivalent and 65 kilogram of methane gas. And this is very essential for the sustainability of the planet. For me, I'm not just here to talk about all we do at Scratop or the Earlier the Greener initiative, where we are going into schools and making sure that we have people talking about SDGs, innovating and having championship for sustainability. It's for me to talk about how every individual here can do something differently. Like you could think around what you are doing presently and decide to do it differently, right? And see how you could inculcate like a sustainable mindset into it. and how it can be something that could outlive you. Fahad explained what sustainability is and how it's all about how individuals making sure that the resources that they met is also available to people that are coming behind them. That's all it's all about. So if we are meeting agricultural soils that are fertile, how can we not leave the natured soil to the people coming behind us? If we have landfills that are at a hectare or 2 hectares, how do we not make it 20 hectares by the time our own children are coming? If our environment is so polluted, and anytime we leave our environment and go abroad, we are all excited about how clean it is over there. How can we adopt those initiatives to make things better? You could be in agriculture, you could be in energy, you could be doing any other thing, or just like what Helen is doing with the children. She was in media and she was able to find a way to create something sustainable around her circle. So for you, you could be in any sphere of life, you could be doing anything, and yet you could bring in sustainability into it. For you to think sustainability is for you to think about the next generation. I believe that's like the best way to approach or approach sustainability or create a sustainable mindset around society. So particularly, it's just me trying to say that whatever you're doing, no matter how small it is, you should be able to put in as much effort as you can and do local, but think global, and make sure that you're impacting significantly, not just to yourself, but to your community, and do things that will outlive you. Thank you so much, Fahad. And thank you, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your great words, and it was great to hear about your achievements and congratulations. And um, yeah, no, I mean, thanks. The one thing I really love about Ruth is like how humble she is. I think you can just tell. And yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. Great. So it seems like yeah, I was really worried if we'll have enough time for Q&A. It seems like we have roughly 10 minutes left for question and answers. So thank you so much for this to the speakers for keeping time. And now we can move on to the Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, you can please raise your hand, or we can move to the questions that are in chat. I think we had some hands raised initially. If you guys wanted to share your questions again, that would be great. Ruth, did you want to say something?
Yes, I want to say something around a concern I have around renewable energy, and two questions specifically. So I want to know what renewable energy looks like for places without enough sunshine, and you can't send solar panels there. And secondly, the future of the solar panel, because I think there's a concern around the recycling of solar panels. So if you could throw some light into it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. These are really important questions. So the thing is, first, for places with not enough sunshine. Look, I lived in like Denmark for a little bit, and I loved what they did. So that's Scandinavia, right? Scandinavia, they don't have access to a lot of sun. So what they did, but they have a lot of wind. So what they did is they innovated, like you did, Ruth, in terms of agriculture, and Dosia and Helen and Joseph, all of you guys, you contributed, right, to and the thing is, like, you contributed to making the world a better place. But what I especially like about Denmark and what they did is like, okay, they don't get enough sun, but they have a lot of wind, so they utilized and perfected wind turbines, right? So now they are like huge capacity megawatts and gigawatts uh, of wind turbines that they use, and that can be used day and night. It doesn't matter. It's not like day on during the day only, like solar. So I think that's a wonderful example. So like we're seeing in places where you integrate solar and wind. So when you don't get enough sun, the wind, it makes up for it. But also there are many places in the world that don't get enough sun and they don't have enough wind, or places that are high humidity, so the wind, solar, they degrade faster. So over there, they have been looking into other technology, like biogas has been like very like popular and has been used a lot. An issue with biogas is more the time it takes for the CH, for the methane to come up, so to be produced. So I guess that takes a bit of time. But overall, yeah, but just bear in mind that renewable energy, it's an upcoming technology. Like, we have had hundreds of years for the fossil fuel industry to be where it is today. But the renewable energy industry, the solar, the winds, these are like only decades, I'll say, right? So it'll take time. Technology takes time to be perfected, but we're definitely going there. And for your second part, the future of solar in terms of, um, yeah, the recycling of it and circular economy. Look, end of the day, the thing is, when you look at the full life cycle of the solar, the energy that the carbon emission that it mitigates is a lot more than what you know than the alternates. Then let's say putting up coal or gas um, combustion, the CCGT and combustion chambers and so on, right? So, like, if you set up, if you look at the alternates, it's much worse. Obviously, it's not perfect, but again, I just feel like this has been blown out of proportion by the fossil fuel industry in terms of the circularity of wind and solar and so on. But if you look at the life cycle, definitely it it mitigates a lot more carbon emissions than other sources that are there. And I feel overall it has a much more positive impact. Yeah. Okay, this was a Dosia. Did you want to add anything to it? Yeah, this is your field. And Joseph.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I can say that about renewable energy. For more now, it is more like we must turn our technology for storage. It is more to know by what kind of energy can be storage, because we have a lot of sun, but the sun is not long during the day. It is for one moment, so we need a lot of possibility to storage energy that product by renewable energy resources. So the technology of storage and the panel that can capture the energy in the night and the day, it will be wonderful. So the trend at right now in technology about renewable energy is wonderful, and it focus about hydrogen too. Hydrogen is like a renewable energy storage that can help more to be more efficient and sustainable. Uh, we can use like nuclear as renewable energy, but it is something that need to be more infrastructure, a lot of infrastructure about sustainability way. So at right now, it is a hot storage energy that is very important. Thank you very much.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Dosia. Yeah, definitely. Without storage, if we can solve the storage crisis, the renewable energy crisis that we're seeing in terms of the intermittency and the grid instability, that will be solved instantly. So that's perfect. Thanks for that, Dosia. Joseph, you had your hand raised for a bit. Did you want to add something as well, please?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for organizing this event once again. My name is Joseph Chachik Nyeko, a lead innovator at iMake Food Dryer. So thank you, Ruth. That was a really inspiring question. We have one district which is bordering Uganda from the north side. That is called Yumi district. They're experiencing some problem with the sun. So the place is always cold and so cloudy, and you can't see for about 1 kilometer. It's always foggy day. So what we have done for this community is that we have partnered with Preserve International. You can Google about them. So they bought our dryers and bought the biogas system. We have installed the biogas system. We mix cow dung with water, and then we make biogas. So what we're doing in this community, we have some kind of generator that can turn biogas into electricity. So problem is solved. So if you need that kind of system as well, I'll be very happy to help you and let you know how we can do it. and how you can help the people in your community have clean energy, which is free and is always available. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your insightful point. You definitely work with like biogas for sure. So that really helps. Wonderful. Thanks a lot. Pranav, I see you have your hand raised. Could you unmute and ask your question?
Yeah. Hello. So I'm Pranav. Yeah, I've done like recently my graduation in the biological sciences. So I'm looking for some like opportunities related to climate change, and I have some project ideas also related to the intersection of climate change and the health, and how it can make sustainable impact. And like I have much like experience. Like I've worked also something in my institute related to it. So I have some experience and much enthusiasm for it. So I would like to get connect and love to know about some remote opportunities or related stuff.
Yep, sounds good. Does anyone want to answer that, please? Ruth, Dosia, Helen, or Joseph? Anyone wants to take that?
Hello, I didn't get very well what he asked.
So he's more asking about like how to get into opportunities related to climate change and sustainability and so on. Just what would your advice be?
Okay. So they have a lot of opportunity, but I don't know where he is and what kind of project he have. So he can contact me by LinkedIn, and we will work together, because we are here for the partnership and how we can help together each other for sustainability. So let's connect and exchange to see in this which way we can do. So if it is entrepreneurship opportunity, they have a lot of entrepreneurship, but you need to have a lot of skills about how to build projects, how to pitch something, and how you must design your idea to become a project. So they have a lot of steps you must be focused about it, and
Wonderful.
it demands a lot of skills
All
you
right.
need to have.
Sorry, Dosia. I think the call is about to end. Thanks